3, 2, 1. We're in this. Hey, top.
Top.
Top Hill, episode 17.
Yes, sir.
Big 017. I'm your boy E Money Boss.
And I'm Chad Visionaire.
And you guys are now tuned into the #1 hip hop culture podcast.
And Black
Business podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so every episode we will be featuring some very special guests. We got some very special guests for you guys here today.
Yes, sir. I'm excited for these guests that's about to come on.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait. So make sure you guys tuned in and you guys are gonna see who our guest is. But for right now, man, let's go ahead and just get into it, man.
Get right into it. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, we had a little break, so I'm just anxious to get back into it.
Yeah, we did. We had a week off, bro.
Yeah, shout out to our CEO Will. Congrats on the new baby.
I thought you was about to say shout out to family problems and people getting sick because we was gone for a week.
If it's flu season, make sure you guys take your vitamin C. Do what you need to do. Feel better. This weather's crazy. We had 1 week it was 70 degrees outside.
Yeah, I was just sick yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy over here in the DMV, y'all. It was 70 degrees on 1 week, and then 7 days later, it was snowing.
Crazy.
It's
I had to
crazy.
work in that snow too.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. Mm-hmm. But anyway, today is also a very special day. Mm-hmm. We just happen to be falling on the right days. You know what I mean? So today is actually Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yes, sir. The legend.
The legendary
actually
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King shirt.
Okay.
Like my grandmother got me.
That's fire.
Yeah, and then I got Obama on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
A lot of people like to have that comparison. It's kind of like, what Martin Luther King was able to achieve, finally seeing the results of what he was pushing for so long, Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he has a dream and like this man really became the president and he looks like us. You know what I mean? So, shout out to Martin Luther King. Shout out to Barack Obama. Who they were just celebrating, I think, Michelle Obama's birthday or something like that.
Yeah, just I think that was 2 days ago.
Yeah. Seen their pictures taking over the gram and stuff.
Oh, them too?
Yeah, them too.
I love it. I love it.
I've seen it all over the place.
Yeah.
Also, there was some unfortunate things that happened as well too. Well, not unfortunate, but we also want to pay homage to the anniversary to Yams. He passed away 5 years ago.
So the big homie.
Also, Mac Miller.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been 28 this year. His birthday just passed.
Around my age.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. It's been a very musical week this week, man. Mm-hmm. 2020 is about to be something special.
Yeah, there's already a lot of music coming out so far, so.
I was a little bit worried, a lot of these artists are teasing us and like putting out little stuff here and there, but we finally got a pretty loaded week this week. This week has been loaded with music.
Definitely.
So we might as well just go jump into this. We're going to talk about some of the hottest albums that dropped so far this year, and then we're going to tell you guys who's on top.
Let's go, bro.
All right, man. Let's start off with this project that you sent me about, man.
The Opposite London.
Yeah.
Baby.
Who is this person and how did you even find them, first of all? Because when you sent me this job, I saw the album artwork. I was like, okay, this is different. This is artsy.
Yeah. Personally, I know The Opposite London through Kanye. I'm a big follower of Kanye, what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, like in the earlier days, I seen him hanging out a lot. As far as like the fashion world or whatever.
Right.
And he also makes incredible music. He put out a project, I believe 2013, 2014, I can't remember. I think it was called Vibes. And it was different. It was interesting. And then out of nowhere, he just dropped the project. Like he hasn't been putting out music because he's been dealing with drug issues and stuff like that. So he hasn't really been on the music scene. So I heard about it on Twitter, and I seen people kept saying like, "This is the album of the year." I'm like, "Come He's like a nobody for real.
Right.
So I was like, I had time, so I was like, let me check it out. And I was actually blown away from the first song. As soon as I clicked play, I was like, okay, I'm locked in.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like nothing else. Like it's so unique.
Yeah.
And it has its own space. You know what I mean? Like I really couldn't even pinpoint what genre I was listening to, and I like music
Exactly.
like that.
I like how he blended, like, it's weird, he blended, like, reggae and trap and
I heard
techno.
some Afro beats in there too.
Yeah, it was weird, but I liked it. It sounded good, sonically.
Yeah. So when you sent me that, I was searching for it on Apple Music. I noticed that was the same. He was on the track with Kanye. All Night?
Yeah.
Yeah, that joint was hard, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That joint was hard. But I don't know if it's gonna be top. You know, it was high.
It was pretty good, bro. Like, I listened to it like 3 times.
Mm.
I'm trying to pull up the track list. It's not trying to come up. Let me see.
Well, let's see.
Definitely the first song, Leon. I like Pretty featuring Ian Isaiah. There was some people I wasn't familiar with on here. And I really like Track 7 featuring Lil Yachty and Ian Isaiah. I love how he used Lil Yachty on there. Like, it was so, I don't know, it was just beautiful the way he was singing, like how he used his vocals on that track. So I definitely appreciate that track. Tam Impala. That joint rock. He had gigs on there. Yeah, bro, like, I love this whole album. Let's just move on.
Yeah, it was decent. Decent. All right, MoneyBagg Yo. Time served.
I liked it.
I was surprised.
I liked it.
I was pleasantly surprised, actually, because I did not expect this album to really to get my attention, honestly. You know,
his last project was good.
I didn't listen to his last project.
Yo, you need to check that out.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of got linked to MoneyBagg Yo. I just kind of knew him as the dude that was with Megan Thee Stallion at one point, and they dropped the song, but I didn't really know too much of his music, honestly.
So what you think?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was pleasantly surprised. I think that he had bars. I think that the beat selection in it too. I was curious to figure out who was the producer that produced most of that record, because it was coherent. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like every song actually belonged on that project. It didn't feel like it was all over the place, like how some of these artists, they just throw whatever they want and call it an album. You know what I mean? So I felt like this was actually a good cohesive body of work. So I liked it.
He had some hits on there too. I'm trying to remember. Like, I can never remember unless I look at the track list.
Yeah, that first jump goes hard.
Oh yeah, the first.
And then the jump You Played is a banger.
Yeah, that's a banger.
That's a banger right there, man.
And then he has one with, well, that's pretty old. The one with Megan Thee Stallion on it, the last song.
That's like the little throwaway jump.
He has so many on there.
Yeah, he has a lot of dope jumps on there. So definitely check out that album. But I still don't think it's top. There's still more music that dropped. So
okay, let's keep going.
Moving on. Stunna for Vegas. Ricch Youngin.
I like that one too.
I didn't.
I knew you wasn't going.
This was the longest, shortest album I have ever listened to in my entire life. That was 29 of the long. I will never get those 29 minutes back. I was like, God damn, it's another song?
Did you listen to it again, or you did one of those one play and you was like, I'm done?
Bruh, it was hard to get through it. Like, I was like, that joke was hurting, bro.
Well, you know, I don't know if he's from D.C., but he's definitely
from Carolina.
He definitely got that D.C. flow. Everything to the T is D.C.
He's signed to the Baby, $1 Billion Babies, their record label that the Baby created in North Carolina. So this is an artist from North Carolina. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? You're showing love to your home state. You know what I mean? I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that at all. I actually like the song that he was on with the Baby on the Baby's album, Kirk.
Oh,
he was on the song, I forgot, I think it was called Stunna. I really enjoyed that record. I even enjoyed his verse on that record. Okay. But, you know, some people are good for a verse or good for a hook, but they're not good for an entire project. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion on that one. I really was good without it.
I like it for what it was. I just like his flow. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love people like Cutiful and who else? There's this new guy I listen to, Lil Grey. People like them. This all these DC people, like,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I like that. Like I said, I like their flow, their style. And for me, it don't always have to be like lyrics. I love the trap music. So I was rocking with it.
Okay. I like the MoneyBagg Yo over that. You know what I mean? If I was gonna pick between those two, I'm picking MoneyBagg over.
Yeah, cause he really got you like lyrics and bars, so I understand.
All right. Next album. And I don't even know if we could really consider this. I guess you can. Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, Director's Cut.
Yeah.
This
Honestly, I didn't listen to the whole thing.
I couldn't either. So, and I think it's because J. Cole wasn't on there. I mean, like if you look at the last song that they just threw on there for the director's cut, I heard it was decent. Some people actually like that better than the original one.
I think I agree with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
even though I didn't listen to all of it, but the songs that I didn't hear on the last one,
mm-hmm.
it caught my attention more. Because the first one, I was like, I don't know, man. It's just all right, let me break it down. Like, for me, it's just not, like I said, for me, it's not just lyrics and bars. It's the music that goes with it. And when I was listening to it, like, you could be the most vicious rapper ever. Like, you got bars and lyrics, but the music don't match up. It's not going to keep my attention. So it's just like, when I was listening to it, like, I really was not paying attention when I was listening to it.
Right.
So that's what it was for me. That's just me personally on my music, like when I listen to music. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to sell your music.
And J. Cole, pretty much on the first one, pretty much, as he's supposed to, just outshine and really stand out. But
I mean, he sets the tone. You know what I mean?
Those guys don't really, to be honest, there's only one person I really check for on that label is Ariana Lennox. Like, I'll be checking for her music.
Ari Lennox. Get her name right, man. She deserves it.
Her, and that's about it.
I mean, come on,
J.I.D.
you gotta respect
He's a good
J.I.D.
rapper. He's a good rapper, but I listened to his album.
Oh, man, Boz and Cos, man, you not fucking with them? Earth Gang? No, yeah, I'm not really. That's what that don't either. But Boz got some dope jokes though. Like I like the last song he had, Tribe.
He has a few joints.
Yeah, Boz has a few jokes, but they're mostly the jokes with the J. Cole feature.
Yeah.
the jokes that stand
now
out.
the director's cut, when they added other people on there, I was like, yeah. Like they added what's his? I don't want to get the names wrong. You know I'm bad with names. Guap. You know what I'm talking about? Guap something 5,000s.
Guap Dad.
Who is it?
Guap Dad.
Guap Dad 4,000. Thank you. I got that name
4,000.
all the way wrong. Guap Dad 4,000. He stood out to me. There was somebody else. There was a lot of people. T.I. was on there. That stood out to me. His verse on there. Oh man, what's his name? LaFleur. Help me up. Huh?
Reese.
Yeah, LaFleur Reese stood out to me too. So the guests that's not, I guess now on the Dreamville record label, those guys really stood out to me. I felt like they made it better.
Well, all I'm gonna say is about this project, I think it was a brilliant chess move, marketing wise, because if people don't know, this is Grammy week. The Grammys are coming out.
That's a good chess move.
Dreamville is nominated for Rap Album of the Year.
Would you give it?
Fuck no.
Who would you give it to? Igor now, because I've been on that heavy. It's really that good.
I would not be mad if Igor takes it, and I know
Igor's really that
people.
good.
I know a lot of people might be upset about that, but they haven't listened to it probably.
Yeah, they have to listen.
and that's probably why. I mean, just the way how creative he was with that album, but we talked about that.
Yeah.
I forgot who else is nominated though. There's somebody else that I feel like.
That's the thing.
Meek Mill. Meek Mill Championships is nominated.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's probably the best Meek Mill project to me, at least.
I think it was my favorite Meek Mill project. But I've been going back and listening to a lot of Meek, and I'm starting to like the old Meek more now. Like it's weird.
The mixtape Meek I like
yeah.
Dreams and Nightmares.
Yeah, I feel like Meek is definitely getting better with time, which is good. But I'm starting
He's
to respect.
growing up.
Yeah, he's growing up, obviously. But I'm starting to respect his older music more now than I did back then.
Good.
Moving on. Mac Miller, Circles.
How'd you feel about it?
I really liked it, man. It's a vibe. It's not an album that you can play, at any time. You know what I mean?
That's what it is for me. Like,
yeah, you have to be in a certain headspace to listen to this album. You're not going to the club or anything like that about to play this album. This is something that
it's really chill, real chill.
Yeah.
Like, all the songs, like, there's no fast-paced beat or anything on there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just smooth.
Yeah, Blue World was the closest one, and I did like that record a lot. But Mac Miller is an incredible artist. I think all of his projects are super dope, and you can see the growth in his music, obviously, and him as a person, and his last 3 projects, man, like The Defined Feminine, Swimmings. And
I'm still learning about him because I was never a Mac Miller fan. Like, I never really checked for him, but I did appreciate the songs that I did hear and the features he was on. I knew he was always talented, but personally, I never was like, oh, I want to go listen to Mac Miller album. But now I respect it. I hate to say it because he passed away, and now I'm listening to it. But hey, like, I'm just late to him.
Yeah, and I mean that happens. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that a lot of people didn't know about Nipsey until he passed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't know about Juice. A lot of people didn't know about X. You know what I mean? So all incredible artists in their own lanes, and yeah, Mac Miller. This project right here, I think it's definitely worth a listen. I feel really bad for Mac Miller too. Like, whoever is at his label or is helping him with his marketing is like really messing up, in my opinion. Because when Swimmings came out, right, that album was highly anticipated. Mac Miller has a great following. He does good numbers. You know what I mean? And he has a great fan base. But when his album always seems to come out during another big project.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know Swimmings came out the same day Astroworld came out.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, and I remember Wale actually.
Because I was going to check it out because people kept talking about it, but I was still stuck on Astroworld, so I never got around to it.
Right, and then, I know Swimmings was a very important project to Mac at that time, and Wale actually had an interview. I think it was with Nessa. And he was talking about, one of the last conversations that he had with Mac Miller on the phone was that, a lot of people, it's hard for you to get your roses while you're alive and stuff like that.
That's true.
Wale actually told him that, your project is amazing, you know what I mean? Obviously it sucks that, it dropped the day that it dropped, but, the project was still really good. And I think people went back to it and obviously they appreciate it. And then now this project that dropped, now you have Eminem that just kind of swooped in and dropped his jump too. So
I forgot about him.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I mean, Mac Miller still is projected to sell about 200,000 copies, which is really good. So
it's suspected.
And then so the last album we could talk about, obviously, Rap God.
Yeah.
Marshall.
I'll give him that.
Slim Shady, if you want to still call him that.
You want me to go into it first, or you do? You want to
go? Go ahead, man. I'll follow up.
I don't like it.
Oh! Okay.
I tried. I really tried. I didn't want to. I'm never that type of person to fall in the hype. I did go on Twitter, and Twitter was
damn track list.
Listen, Twitter was roasting his ass. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna be that dude. I'm like, I'm gonna have my own opinion. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna do my homework because we got a podcast to do. First song I really liked.
The intro was hard.
I thought he was himself and he really did his thing. And then from the second song, it didn't do it for me, bro. Hold on, let me pull it up. I didn't like it, bro.
You didn't like the second song with Young M.A.?
No.
You are tripping.
I don't like. And what's crazy is I listened to it twice, and I end up only keeping 2 songs on the album. I deleted everything.
You are, come on, Chuck.
No disrespect to M, like,
That is
it just
so
goes back to
disrespectful.
what I was saying earlier, like, with M, I like older M stuff. Like, I like the Eminem Show. I think that's probably one of his best albums ever, because I like projects that got a theme and it really displays themselves and they're true to their art and their music. And I felt like that was the Eminem Show. In his later years, I gotta be honest, man. Like, yeah, he's a rap guy. He's always like top 5 lyricist for sure in bars. But musically, I'm not putting him up there with somebody like Jay-Z, because they try to put him up there with Jay-Z as far as being timeless. But to me, like, his latest projects haven't really been timeless for me. Like, I'm not going back and listening to an M album. I told you this before. And I've been giving him chances because I listen to people like you and some other people that like him. He just doesn't do it for me. The music's not there for me. He's just too corny. It seems like he's out of reach. I really want to know what's on his playlist.
Eminem is obviously, he's inconsistent, right? He talked about it himself, you know what I mean? He criticizes himself for being inconsistent. He'll give you one project that flops, but, you know, still comes out being successful, but gets, you know, critically shamed, I guess. I know Revival was not, you know, one of his best projects or whatever. A lot of people didn't like his last project, Kamikaze, that he did, but this album right here, to me,
a lot of people like that.
it's a statement. I mean, like, he made it. It's actually, to me, one of Eminem's best projects. I really liked the beginning of it. The first half of this project, this is actually a 2-album project. If you look at the track list, it's 20 songs. The 10th song, he has the intro, Stepdad, as number 10. So the first 10 songs on this album, to me, are absolutely phenomenal.
What songs you like the most?
So the intro, let me see it real quick. I don't even know how to say that word. Whatever.
Premonition.
Yeah, that. So that jump, I like the second track with Young and May. I think Young and May did it. I think she's so underrated too. I think Young and May is a dope artist, a dope lyricist, and I feel like she killed it and killed it. And then it goes into You Gonna Learn. That jump, Royce. First of all,
Royce is he's a beast.
Royce is a monster, dog.
He's up there.
And, you know, Royce and Eminem together, you know, that's Bad Meets Evil. They really bring, you know, the best out of each other.
You know what songs I like?
What?
That I did like, that stood out? Godzilla featuring Juice WRLD. I thought that stood out.
He snapped. Shout out, you know, obviously R.I.P. Juice WRLD.
He got, what's that dude's name? No Regrets, Don Oliver.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to Don Oliver. I got hip late, so I listened to it last week. I love his voice, his vocals. Like, that joint's like that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I really like nothing else.
No, you got to also talk about the single that he chose, Darkness, as well too. Darkness was a highly criticized single where he actually, you know, talked about. He was pretty much rapping in the perspective of the gunman of the Vegas shooter, and it got a lot of backlash for some people who didn't really see the full message. That song, to me, it's art. You know what I mean? I feel like he did his duty of how he felt. He brought out the way how he wanted to bring, you know, gun control his way. You know what I mean? Doing his art. Obviously, Eminem is not worried about anything that he says out of his mouth. You know what I mean?
Don't care.
He's fearless. He's always been fearless in that regard. Yeah. So he's going to say what he wants to say, how he wants to say it. And, you know, I commend him for doing the song Darkness and, you know, letting people, if you watch the video, too, the video is even more haunting because, you know, he kind of reenacts it.
Oh, he has a video of the Darkness?
Yeah. Oh. So the video Darkness, he kind of reenacts the Vegas shooter incident. And at the end of the video,
It's one of the highlighted tracks too.
yeah. At the end of the video, he also, is trying to inform people as well to come up with their own decisions, but to vote for, gun, suppress gun violence and gun control. So he's pointing people in the right directions, and I think it's a good message. It's a positive message. So people are just misconstruing it. But anyway, this project, the first half, I really, really enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
And this is going to be Eminem's 10th consecutive #1 album.
10th, damn.
That is a record. Nobody.
He got loyal fans, for sure.
Yeah. So that's the first time in U.S. history that an artist has had 10 consecutive #1 albums. He'll be the first. Okay. Kanye West is behind him with 9. So Kanye West drops another album and goes #1. He'll be right tied with Eminem.
Okay.
But yeah.
What's your top album? I already know what mine is.
I'm going with Eminem, man. I'm going with Eminem. Music to be Murdered by.
Okay.
I really enjoy the first half of this album so much. I mean, it gives you, to me, everything that you need out of a project: lyrics, bars, beats. I feel like there's enough songs in here that are meaningful. There's songs in here that have replay value. In my opinion, there's a couple songs I'm gonna go back to. I don't know how long it's gonna be top for me though, because the last half of the album was kind of weak to me. And I know there's a lot of good music still about to come out. Uzi teasing us, The Weeknd's teasing us. Drake and Future. I don't know what's going on, man, but I'm just excited for 2020 and all the music that we're about to get. But Playboy Cardi.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Playboy Cardi. Yeah.
Rihanna. Who knows? I mean, who knows what's gonna happen, man? This year is gonna give us some Kendrick Lamar. Where are you, bro? Okay. I'm done. All right, I'm done. What about you, bro?
I'm sticking with Roddy Ricch, man. It's too good, man. I'm still on it.
Yeah.
I just liked it from the moment we first critiqued it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is it. That box. I mean, what is it? The second song, The Box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. I still can't stop playing it. I still can't stop playing the album. So that's gonna remain on my top for a long time, unless. Yeah.
Shout out to Roddy Ricch, man. I'm very happy for.
Still #1. That song.
Well, yeah, The Box is still the #1 song in the country. Mm-hmm. I mean, we want to just talk about this real quick now. No,
let's save it. Yeah.
Save it. All right. Okay, well, that's going to do it for the first half of Top Hill. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll take a quick little break. We're going to get our guests on the show, introduce them to you guys.
Yes, sir.
So stay tuned. This is Top Hill.
Ready, let's go.
Top. 3, 2, 1. Now you're ready.
Top.
Top Hill. Jesus Christ, what are you barking at me for? Like, what I do? Like, top. Top Hill episode 17, part 2. I'm your money boss.
And I'm Travis Jenner.
And this is Top Hill Podcast, the #1 hip hop culture podcast, and
Black-owned business podcast.
Hey, let's go. And before we get into anything else, I just want to throw a quick shout out to North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. It's a beautiful school down in Greensboro, North Carolina.
What, you a spokesman for them or something?
Sure, why not? Shout out to Gary Owens and his daughter.
I did see the picture.
Yeah, so welcome Gary Owens to the Aggie family. We'll see you at GHO next year.
You think he's gonna be there?
Yeah, he said he is.
Oh,
he said he's gonna be there.
That's gonna be lit.
Yeah, so,
I would love to party with him. That would be lit.
Yeah, you already know.
Yo.
We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline.
We'll
anyway, so welcome back. This is part 2, and like we guys told you guys, we want to start having guests on our show every week. And these guests right here, we had to bring them on early.
Right. And we just don't bring anybody in. We bring people that own their own business.
Right. Entrepreneurs, business owners. What you bringing out to the world?
What people are putting into the community or the business world. Like, we really want to dive deep and talk about how you affect the culture with your business.
Right. So these people right here definitely exuberate all that.
Definitely.
And I'm excited to bring them on, as I'm sure you are.
Me too. I'm very excited.
Chad, why don't you go ahead and do the honors, man?
All right. Let's bring in GreyHaus777.
Hey, come on in. GreyHaus777.
Let's give a clap.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, very synchronized right now. That was on point, yo. That was very on point with that.
We nice.
Masters of execution.
Hey, look. They didn't even practice that, y'all. I'm just saying, they just came in with it. Like, you know what? They
was with it.
Yes.
Shout out to GreyHaus777. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves, if you guys.
Okay, so D.A.
Yep.
And
Young Gray Mind.
And you guys are also the host of Doing Enough Podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, okay. I just want to say thank you guys again. If you guys don't know, please check out GreyHaus777's podcast there on all the streaming platforms, especially Apple Podcasts. You guys are on there. We're on episode 76, you know, on their junk, you know.
Yeah.
They were really nice enough to have us feature on their show. So definitely had to return the favor. Really appreciate you guys for coming through.
Thank
You gotta support each other. So.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Lincoln bag.
Yes.
Facts.
Big facts, big facts. All right, man. So let's get into some. Do you have some questions for them?
Yes, I do. Well, no, let me just say this. I did my research on GreyHaus777. Just not just because I know y'all, but we have to do this with every black-owned business.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate y'all as creatives because y'all not limited to one thing. And I had a conversation with them, and they really can't describe what their brand is. It is a brand, and but they don't want to classify just one being under one thing. So I see that they do podcasting, they do consulting, they're throwing events, they're designing clothes and merch. So they're doing a lot of things. Yeah, they're doing enough. So
doing enough.
So I have my first question would be, where do y'all see this brand going? Like, I know it's cliche that that's like a cliche question, but I really just want to know what the vision is overall. Like, what do you want people to see you guys as?
The source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's just like, if you want something like at a level, like a taste level, like they think of us. And no matter what it is, like no matter how big or small our input will be, we're trying to like just have that major impact. And then like that little key thing that just like makes something golden.
Gotcha.
Or platinum or diamond.
Hey, I like that.
I feel you.
I like that.
Yeah, so basically just I feel like too, even if it's not something that we might ultimately have our direct hand in, even if it's a thing where we're that source to where it's like we can get you what you need in order to get to that point.
The link.
Yes, the link.
The plug.
Yes, we the link on the chain that gets you the diamond chain.
Yo, I love you guys' podcast so much. I was just listening to it actually earlier today. You guys, it's y'all's creativity and y'all's chemistry is just so genuine. You know what I mean? And you guys, when you guys check out the podcast, you guys gonna know what I'm talking about. But do you guys think that chemistry is something that you can teach, practice, or do you feel like you just gotta have it?
Me personally, I think chemistry, I feel like it can be created, but I feel like genuine chemistry, it's just like that's something that it just has to happen. Like, it's not nothing that you could just like throw people in a room.
It comes with familiarity.
Yeah.
So it's just like, let's say, summer school. We both went to summer school. We know how it goes. It's like, when you go to summer school, it's like everybody in the county in one building. It's like the first day is just like, I don't know none of y'all. I ain't talking to none of y'all. But by the end of it, you have new friends.
Right.
Like that's what it is. It's just like being around somebody and just like seeing how they move, how they talk, like how they think about things, like how they take things. It's just like you're like, oh, okay, I'm kind of like that in this way. I'm kind of, and you find your like tribe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
You think that's important when like being in a business or anything serious like that?
I think it's important to an extent because when you're working with somebody, I feel like in order to come out with the best product, you want somebody to genuinely be able to trust even if they don't trust you, but to like trust the process. And sometimes like I know with me personally, I'm more gun-ho for somebody who I've already built that organic relationship with. Like I'm more like hands-on, like okay, this, like when we're doing consulting with certain brands where it's like we've already established a genuine relationship before we go into whatever project or whatever it is that we're assisting you with. It's like it makes it easier too, because when you form that genuine relationship, normally you already know what this person is where they're trying to be, what they're trying to accomplish, their style, their feel stuff. So it in turn just makes it easier to do our part of the process because we kind of already know what's going on.
it becomes more of like not if or if not you can work with someone. It's just how you can work with someone.
Right. And that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because some people who are really doers and some people are just talkers, right? You know what I mean? And when you start having the mindset of, man, can I do this? Should I do this? No, like, how can I do this? You know what I mean? Like, speaking like law of attraction, right? Just manifesting what you want, you know what I mean? Just get into it. So, yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I noticed that y'all, I think this was last year, y'all had your first event at Birthday Bar. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hey, how did that come about? The link up with the
I
broccoli?
want to know the whole process.
Come on, we can't.
Drop all the sauce.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Well,
Lick
for
it
that,
bad,
for
lick
that,
it
you
bad.
gotta hit that consult button on
I
that
got
website.
you.
Hey, it's like Bush's baked beans, bro. The secret recipe is in the vault.
Yeah. Honestly, that just came about really. First and foremost, that was a big risk. And that was something that we had thought about. We talked about a lot. Thought about, yeah. And that's another thing. Like our chemistry, a lot of people just be like, "Oh, you got," but it's like me and him really like sit down and go back and forth, and it's like, "No, I think this is a good idea," and it's like he's like might be like, "No, we should," but that's like really, I want to say out of pretty much a lot of the stuff we do, that was probably like the biggest thing where we kept going back and forth about like what are we going to do, how's this going to come about. And it was just one of those things where sometimes I don't want to say you got to make an executive decision, but sometimes it's just like you have to be able to explain what the end goal is. And I feel like when we would clash back and forth, it's kind of because that end goal wasn't being, shown, where it's just like, let's do this, or let's put the effort into doing this. So it was just something we really had pondered on. We work with a lot of people, and we just like have a lot of knowledge just about a lot of like how it goes, how to do an event, what the behind the scenes details,
how not to get shut down.
It's so much stuff that really goes into throwing an event. And I always say proper planning, like even simple stuff like if you out at a party, pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on. You can still enjoy yourself, but just pay attention to like how certain people move, what's going on. So it's one of those things too. We just kind of did our research and
did some more.
We did a lot of research. We basically did a lot of planning where it's just like, this is what we're gonna do, this is how we're gonna do it, and we just went ahead and we just took the risk and
it's like we went through the nose.
Right.
You
gotta get through them.
And it's crazy because we get that question all the time, like how were you able to get, and it's just one of those things. Sometimes too, I tell people, regardless of what your resume might look like or who you've worked with, sometimes you really have to be able to explain, even if you can't do it, have somebody help you really explain what it is that you're trying to do. So it's one of those type of things where it's just like we really took our time with it. We didn't let like the no's from other places pushed us to like really actually, because that wasn't even one of the venues we had even talked about, and then it was just like, and we actually had a whole nother venue set in like locked.
Oh, wow.
That's usually how it goes. Just the one you plan for doesn't go
and then it's just
accordingly.
like some stuff ended up like to where it's just like, okay, we're not gonna do it here, and like literally we linked in bag with them. It turned out to be a really, really great event.
Yes, I was there.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Definitely had a good time.
It was so much fun.
Shout out to everybody that was like a part of that, because you were there for some of it, like just like the late night, just grinding through like visuals, like practicing, getting the mixes right, tweaking little things, like working on like the set list.
And just because then too, not only was that our first party, but that wasn't my first time DJing live.
I was about to say you DJ too.
That wasn't my first time DJing live, but that was my first time DJing in that format, like in like a club like setting, so to speak. So it's just like, besides actually, because it was just a lot. Honestly, it was just like, I was like, without him, I probably would have like drove myself crazy, for the simple fact that it's like we still have to do the front and the back end of actually, getting the party thrown, the particulars, all the details that go into it,
securing the bags,
right.
Making sure that our terms are met, but then it's also still like, okay, I need to mentally prepare because this is something that I've never done, and then it's like, we did it with 80 shots.
Yeah.
And so 80. So like me and him, it's crazy because I had never even like really heard him like DJ, and so it was just like we had to take some time out to like really kind of learn each other's style, just so like it would be cohesive, and it came out, it was good.
Would y'all do it again, like another event?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Just wait on it.
Yeah, just wait on it.
That's what I was waiting to hear.
Just wait on it. It might be something cooking in the oven.
Oh yeah.
It might be something cooking in the oven.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. That event, y'all did an amazing job, and I definitely love your DJing style as well too. 80 shots of his thing as well too. Just going through the notes, we talked about it a lot. What was it, Byron Allen? He talked about how he used to, before he had his own network and before he bought the Weather Channel, he used to sit down at his table, call hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. That was his job, literally from the morning to the evening, just calling people and just going through those thousands of no's. And then eventually, just getting to that right person, it took years. Yeah, but when your vision is so clear, like you said, if you don't know how to present it yourself, if you can find somebody that can help you present it,
that's important.
It's important.
Very important.
And not only that, just like making your impression, because a no right now may be a yes later.
Right.
Yeah.
So exactly.
And sometimes people, I like to always just put it out there. Like sometimes people watch, like they might tell you no just because they want to see what comes of that. Like it's like. And then sometimes a no isn't like a never.
Right.
Sometimes a no is just like not right now. Like y'all, work on it.
Yeah.
Come back, and maybe we can. So it's just one of those things where it's like, don't just let that no just be like, I can't do it, or don't let that no turn into like any type of like resentment or grudge where it's like, oh, y'all told me no, so I'm never working with you again.
Don't do that.
It's just business.
It's all business. Don't take it personal.
Right. You gotta definitely be able to separate the two.
Y'all dropping gems tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You have any other questions for them? Because if not, we can get into some.
Nah, let's get into top shit.
Some top shit. Hey, well, first, you guys heard of some of the albums that we talked about.
Let's get their opinion.
Yeah, I would love to hear if you could.
Let's go. Yes.
Run down the list.
All right, so we had some. We had a lot of music that dropped, the past 2 weeks, in 2020. How do you pronounce this person's name? Theophilus London?
Theophilus London.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They know who they are.
Yeah, Theophilus London.
MoneyBagg Yo with Time Served. Stunna Full Vegas, Ricch Youngin. I heard you got favorite artists J. Cole and Dreamville drop. You guys
By the
know.
way, they do not like J. Cole.
They love J. Cole so much.
J who? J.
Oh my God, disrespect.
Anybody else get tired?
What time is it?
Oh, about the disrespect. All right. Mac Miller with Circles and Eminem music behind. Music to be murdered by. Excuse me.
Out of those, I think my favorite personally was MoneyBagg Yo.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear Mac Miller. Didn't hear Eminem. Honestly, didn't care to hear Eminem. Like I saw it and just was like, he's still a rapper. Like what? Like I'm not on it, but I've never really been an Eminem fan because I just feel like I'm never in the mood to just like listen to like what's the time, like where did you listen to Eminem music at? Like
I was an Eminem fan my teenage years because I was angsty, so that's the only reason why. It was like he liked to piss people off, I wanted to piss people off.
Right.
I just feel like because I know you said that was your favorite album. Like when do you listen to that?
I listen. I enjoy the lyrical wordplay. I think that his skill
he's a good storyteller.
Yeah, I love storytelling albums. I love albums that make me think, that make me go back and read the lyrics and be like, dang, that's what he meant. Dang, he connected that with that. I find that intriguing. So
somebody said on Twitter, they was like, because I guess I don't know if he had a line where it was like, it was like, I'm hot, something. I'm on fire, just like I'm a liar. Or just like a liar or something, a big loud.
Kindergarten rap.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know.
I think he should he should be like the next Lin-Manuel Miranda, and do just take that shit to Broadway for real, because he knows how to tell a story. He could definitely. No offense to Lin-Manuel Miranda, but nobody wants to hear about Colonial Williams in rap version.
Right.
But I feel like if Eminem did it, it would be at least more entertaining.
And Eminem has better visuals. I would care more for his visuals. Really, I heard you talking about that. I don't care for those type of visuals. I don't to me that's why I say when is there a mood for this? For me to watch you reenact. It's just it's not my style. But MoneyBagg Yo, I bang with that album. The joint with Future.
Okay.
Yes, A1. But to me, he doesn't disappoint. He's very consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. You talking about Future?
I was talking about MoneyBagg Yo, but
MoneyBagg,
Future as well was very consistent.
Yeah, Future don't fall off really at all.
Although Drake had the better half of the Life is Good song, in my opinion.
Whoa!
I don't know about that.
In my opinion,
I like them separately.
I like them
equally.
separately. I like them separately, but equally. But I just feel like I really like Drake's.
Yeah.
I really like Future's part too, but it's just I honestly will say that if I had to.
That's the first time I heard somebody say that. Everybody love Futures,
bro. The aspect that Drake came for is just the most relatable situation for so many people.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
bro, working on the weekend usual.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I haven't done my taxes. I'm too turned up.
Yeah.
I was just at the club last
night.
night. We was singing our hearts out to that one line.
Yeah, it's just and my whole thing is nobody really wants to admit it because it's Future, but I really feel like Drake has the better half. They're very close. They're almost neck and neck, but it's Drake is 2-3 notches above.
I think the fact that we are even talking about this is incredible. We have two different sounding records on the same record, but they fit so well together. They complement each other like yin and yang.
I have a theory that it's a continuation of Star 67 from If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Because it's the beginning, Drake's part. So Drake's part is a it sounds like the exact same sample from Star 67, and Star 67 had two parts.
Yeah, it did.
And I was just like,
And he was talking about working at a call center.
Yeah, and just like building his way up.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think it's a continue. I feel like I really don't think it's a continuation. I just feel like that was just the verse that didn't get on that song.
No, look.
Could've
How about
been
this?
too. Yeah,
How about this?
throwaway.
Star 67 was like the view from building yourself from the ground up, from like the trap side of it.
Yeah.
And then this is from the everyday man side of it.
Yeah.
And then like how Future came in second with the flex is just like the first half was the grind and then the second half was the turn up.
Yeah.
And you think like you see they did the video like where it was like in the video they got to the point where they were like the stars. And
Right.
then it's a little bit every at the end of the bar is a little bit.
Right.
Like let you know. So
Do you guys think they're gonna drop a project together, or do you just a future Drake?
They gonna drop.
oh,
a
they
project.
definitely gonna
They're
drop
definitely-
You think so?
Yeah.
I really
I
hope so.
I want to hear what I want to see the lineup of producers. Because it's like, okay, like Drake did that one song War.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like he's working with a UK grime producer.
But I think that's more. See, I feel like too.
that's
Drake.
more for the album.
I
not
feel
the
because
single.
Drake is also dropping an album this year,
The
so I
solo
feel like that song. I couldn't see really like
Him
Future
going-
really on like that whole like grime sound like. So I feel like that might be more tailored to
Future's
his
versatile
album.
though.
He is, but I really don't see like, because if you think about it, Future kind of stays in his bag.
With just like on the hook though.
I still don't see him.
I could see him on a hook or doing like some wild things where you have like certain artists do ad libs even though they don't have like the real feature.
Right.
Just they in
But
there.
then that don't count.
But it's still a vibe.
Yeah.
Like
So what's your top album, Mo?
like ever.
No,
list.
between these, between
list.
the Eminem album, the Mac Miller album, the Dreamville album, Stunna for Vegas, MoneyBagg Yo, and Deathless London.
Theopolis. Or it could be something recent.
Something recent. I like.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be
Can
these.
I pick someone off the list?
No, okay, my
Okay.
bad, y'all. So this is just what dropped recently, but if you
Okay.
feel like there's an album that's hotter than all of these, then you just tell us what you guys feel is top right now.
Baby Keem.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
good one.
Ah,
Yeah.
Baby Keem, bro.
I just listened to
God,
Orange
Blake.
Soda for the first time today.
That's
I
right,
can-
crazy.
I feel like-
I bet you bring that shit back, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
I feel like
Is it
Drake.
Drake's song?
I feel because that album
Crazy.
is actually old, and so
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is.
like
It is
Drake.
old.
After Drake said that in his interview, that's when
He
like
put me on.
it was
I ain't
like,
gonna hold you.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard somebody else mention Baby Keem, and then, like you said, I saw the Rap Radar interview with Drake, and that made me want to go and listen to it. So I checked out Orange Soda, I checked it out again, and now I gotta listen to
I
that.
like Mosh Pit. That's something.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
Mosh
yeah,
Pit.
yeah.
But if I running it back, I would agree with Chad though as
Okay.
my top album. I think I would still like give that to Roddy Ricch.
Roddy Ricch.
Oh yeah.
Just because as a project in full, it's just very, very good. And
Yeah.
I like projects too where it's like the next song kind of, the beat.
It bleeds right
Yeah,
in.
it bleeds
right
in.
Yo,
in.
shout out to Pierre Bourne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
really does that so well.
hmm
And
I like albums like that too. That bleed into the next. It's makes the album cohesive. Makes all the songs feel like they belong there.
Right.
Roddy Ricch is definitely killing it right now. So
Definitely.
shout out Roddy.
He's having a good year.
So so that's top albums. So we can go ahead and talk about the top singles right now that
Yeah.
came out.
We was just talking about.
I
it
mean,
pretty
we
much.
already broke down the Future and Drake Life is Good. So what have y'all seen that Janae Aiko
Pussy
Pussy
Fairy?
Fairy?
I
Yeah.
haven't. I'm about to though.
I
wanna
haven't
listen
seen
to
the
that.
video.
I want to hear it.
I saw the video.
You saw the video? What'd you think?
I don't really like her like doing 8 counts. That's like it was a little
She doing
weird.
8 counts?
Like she's doing like real like choreography, like
yeah.
this.
I want to see it. I want
Yeah.
to see it though.
I don't really, and then I think
Oh.
I didn't like it too much because I feel like 90s is cool. But it's just like, bro, can we like
Move
along.
reference? Can we like? Why does
Yeah.
everything? And I feel like it was such a big reference because it was like her doing like this, and it was the one male dancer behind her.
Oh,
doing it.
no.
It was
Yeah.
like- I didn't really care. I like the song. I don't care for the video.
I gotta see it now.
I still
mean-
want to see it.
Yeah, I mean the video. I like the video for other reasons. I mean, it's Janae Aiko. I mean, that joke was fucking fire. It was sexy. It was, And I think she gets a lot of Aaliyah comparisons, so I think this was kind of her tribute.
It definitely
you know.
gave me Aaliyah vibes.
Yeah,
I
heard the choreography was actually from Aaliyah's
Rock the
video.
boat?
Not Rock the Boat. I forgot which one it is, but I think they. Huh?
One in a million.
No,
No.
it had to be like a slow song.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't take that note down, but she's supposed to get the choreographer from one of Aaliyah's videos.
Yeah.
So
It was just, I think too, I'm not going to say it's bad. I think it's just like so far left. Because she's like doing like 8 count. Like she's doing like a real
That's
loud,
not
like.
her for real.
Yeah, it's just, and it was just like very weird. Because when I first started watching it, at first I was like, is this not like the real video? Like,
Was she ever dancing in like B2K old videos?
I don't think so. No, I think she was just
you
always
getting me
like,
hip to something new.
I think she
Yeah.
was just always sitting like,
in a chair
maybe
with a
chucking the
guitar or
juice.
something.
Oh yeah, or just like doing like a little like
yeah, no.
yeah, you're right.
She never was
Because I
like.
definitely remember her wearing like the Lakers jersey dress in a B2K.
But she was
video.
just sitting in like the bleachers. She wasn't
Yeah.
like breaking it down. Like
Yeah.
That's funny.
you'll when you watch the video, you gonna be like, oh, okay, I see what she's talking about. Because it's very like not.
Right.
Yeah.
her
What you think about
style.
this song? What y'all think about this song?
I liked it though. It's
I mean, I
Janae.
like
This,
it.
Yeah.
the song is Janae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I haven't heard it. I didn't go anywhere today, and I was just like, dang. I try to save stuff for the car.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, some things are just meant to be played in car or headphones. It's just-
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
takes it
Like
trip.
on the way to work, like on the way home.
Right.
Just like,
Right.
Yeah, every single time I work on Saturday, working on the weekend like usual. Early as shit. Little Baby dropped a single, Something to
Something to
Prove.
Prove.
You guys heard that, John?
I heard it.
It was cool.
I didn't.
It was cool. You did.
Oh, I did?
I played it when we was in the car before.
Okay.
It's cool.
It's
It
cool.
to me, it's not it's not like a standout single for
Yeah.
real. Especially because I feel like Whoa did such like that was just such a big single where it's just like
When I first heard it though, I was like, I don't really like it, but
Yeah.
it
It
grew on me.
That's
So
how
it
it
might
was
be
for
one of
me.
these records. Like, it has to grow. I don't know.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be. But I feel like too. I think if I was part of his label, I wouldn't have dropped another single so fast. Cause Whoa is still like
Mm-hmm.
popping, so it's like I would have just like held off a little bit, cause it's just like you dropped the single, but it's still getting overshadowed by your initial
Do
single.
you feel like his momentum is like slowing down a little bit, or do you feel like he's still?
I
I
don't,
don't think so.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so.
Cause when he dropped, it's gonna be
Yeah, people still
Yeah.
checking for him.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, one thing about him and like a lot of like newer artists from like the southern region, like trap artists, it's like they all work together. So it's just
Yeah.
like even if he slows down, there's still people that's still popping. That's definitely gonna be on his album
Yeah.
somewhere.
It's crazy you said it. It's something about the South that they just they love collabing with each other.
They
I think
do
it's,
it
I think
right.
it's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing to do. Because when Little Baby was like just absolutely on fire, right? Then you got The Baby coming out. I was like, God, they sound.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The names are damn near the same, you know what I mean? But then they hopped on a couple of songs together and it was
Yes.
all good, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and obviously The Baby had a huge 2019, dropping 2 projects and,
yes.
everything too. So, yeah. What do you guys think is the hottest single out right now, though?
Life is good for sure. For me.
Yeah, it's going to be like.
I don't even know what's out right now.
But the box is still.
Oh, yeah,
the box is still fire.
Yeah, that's probably. I think that's probably like
The box.
commercially. That's probably
Yeah.
the box.
Y'all think they should do a remix to that just to keep it at number
No.
one, or leave it as it is?
No,
Leave that
Yeah.
joint, bro.
Cause I seen a conversation people was talking about that. I was like, nah.
because
leave
it's
it as
just
it
like I feel like then stuff starts getting redundant, and then it's just like, all right,
Yeah,
bro.
like Old Town Road all over again.
is. All right.
So y'all saying that
And
Kendrick
then-
hop on the remix? Y'all not gonna sing it?
That would be kind of nice though.
Yeah.
Cause like the way that like if he like just throws the fast rap
Yeah.
in certain parts and it.
Yeah.
I feel like Kendrick would just annihilate that beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty.
I don't know, but I feel like that song is like that's his Meek Mill dream. What is it?
Mm.
Dream
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Where it's just like that song can age over time
Yes.
very well, and sometimes I feel like when you do a remix to songs that already will age well, it does an injustice because then it's just like, bro, okay, we get it. Like, and I feel like with remixes, it's never normally who you want on the remix.
It's only a few
It's gonna be
songs that
some
were
old-
able to.
It's gonna be old
To surpass
Young
the
Jeezy
original.
and like T.I.
Hey, shout out to DJ Khaled though. He was running it up for
Yeah, he was the remix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, DJ Khaled drop a remix. You gonna
Yeah.
it's probably
It
worth
it has a life of its own. So.
Yeah.
Yo, I think what's the name was the best remix. Touch It by Busta Rhymes. I can't think of a better remix.
Touch it.
Yeah,
that joint was fire.
That joint was fire.
That's the joint that had Papoose when he was like, I got New York in the public.
Like, man, what did New York do to you? I thought you felt it. Yeah, X killed that joint too. There's a lot. It was a lot of people in that remix, man.
It was an X, Remy,
Uh,
Pat Poose killed it. That's probably the
Then
only
he had
Pat
to do
Poose verse that I remember.
Then you had the female version.
The
where-
female, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
Like,
And Missy Elliott.
Yeah, I'm like, what? You got
Yo.
name dropping
Yeah.
16?
Right.
In the booth.
Hey, y'all had
video
had
was tough.
LimeWire at the time.
Yeah.
You find the mega remix. You
Oh,
got
yeah.
Neo on the jump.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yo.
Yeah, so many remixes.
Neo killed that jump.
Man,
bro.
I swear LimeWire low key like birthed just like fake remixes. Too.
Oh my
So
God,
you
right.
find some joint and be like, this is kind of tight though.
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure this is like taken from someone else's song and just like
Yeah, exactly.
mashed together. It's very sweet.
Yeah, we showing our age right now.
Yeah, no bullshit.
Young
Man.
kids are like, what y'all talking about, LimeWire? What is that?
LimeWire, Bear Share. Yeah, don't. Yeah.
Good old days where you rolled the dice when you wanted the album.
Right,
Right.
right. How
Like-
bad you want this album?
Yeah,
Get this
like,
virus with this
exactly.
album? Right.
Came across a couple of videos on LimeWire
Oh,
too.
Jesus
Whoa,
Christ.
shout out Vita Guerrera.
All right.
So,
Chad
moving
found
on.
himself.
No comment.
oh man. All right, y'all. Let's get into some top shit. What's going on in the culture right now? Obviously, Yams Day was huge. It just passed. Y'all
I ain't
see-
seen no clips of it though.
I don't think
What?
they.
Yeah, I ain't
It
seen
is
it.
pretty fire.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I think most of them I saw was just like on Twitter. I don't think like they did a big recap of it yet though.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't see no official.
Yeah, I ain't
videos
seen
come
no
out.
official.
I did see the Breakfast Club interview with ASAP.
yeah.
Yo, I was trying to figure out if that was new or not.
Yeah.
it was.
When you posted it, I was just like, because they kind of like stopped with like changing up their style
Yeah.
at a certain point. Because I was just like, yo, is this
It
old?
did
Yeah,
look
it
old.
was the
'Cause
same.
when I saw it posted, I looked at it and I just was like, it's like.
I found the secret.
I was like,
though.
they recycling.
Yeah, it was like real live. Like ASAP Rocky hair stopped growing,
Right.
like, and everybody else still looked the same. But you gotta watch Ferg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He always changed it. He had like different color hair.
Yeah, red hair.
Yeah.
You always gotta watch Ferg. That's how you can like tell on the timeline where some ASAP shit.
I definitely want to go to a Yams Day, but it's just like I don't know if
That'll be
that's
fun.
my crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like I enjoy it from afar.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like at this point I would be too old for that.
Yeah, and I don't. Were you guys really big into Yams when he was out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
He did it, yeah.
Like, are you familiar with his Tumblr?
Mm-mm.
That has the most gems
I love
ever.
Tumblr, too.
His
Yeah.
Tumblr
He
is
put
called
on a
Real
lot of
Nigga
shit.
Tumblr.
Yeah.
For real?
Yes.
I have
He
to-
put me on a lot of shit,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Y'all seen that chain that
Yes.
Drake made?
That joint
Yeah.
crazy.
That, shout out to Drake, man. Drake dropping big gifts.
That's a good
for
friend.
people. Yeah,
I
I
want a
know.
chain like that.
Yeah, I know. Come on, Drake.
Yeah.
What's good? Sponsor the pod.
I'm still waiting for my owl chain.
Oh,
Right.
I heard Rihanna was there too.
Yeah, I think she was close to Drake. That's what
Whoa.
we're talking about.
Well, Drake is calculated, man. Drake is a smart individual, man. I feel
For sure.
he's playing chess for real. It's like,
But I wonder who's playing chess. Like,
I think
who's trying to
Rihanna's
get
playing
that
chess.
feature? Like,
Rihanna's smart.
trying to get a feature.
I think Rihanna is playing.
Yeah.
I think Rihanna is.
She really bad girl,
masterminding it.
Riri.
Yeah.
But hey, think about this though. Drake had J-Lo on his album,
Yeah, the
Sure.
J.
singing.
well, that was a
re-singing.
sample.
That was.
I feel like she
No, that was a sample.
That was a
Oh,
sample.
okay.
That was a sample.
Hey, but
Yeah.
hey, I wonder if
She got it
paid for
cleared though.
Right.
She got that joke cleared.
Hey,
I feel like ASAP might be still trying to try his hand too. I don't know.
I thought he had a girl though.
Does he?
Yeah, ASAP Rocky. I think he date like a model. I don't know which one.
They always dating them.
Yeah, true.
That man on the Breakfast Club said he had like sex addiction or something.
Yeah, bro. Did you ever watch Kerwin's interviews?
Yeah, I just watched the one with Tyler the Creator.
Yo, I think it was like one of them. He was talking about like them being on like someone else's cruise. I think it was like DJ Khaled's cruise.
Oh yeah.
And he was just like the reason why he was in the wheelchair before is because he like really was having so much that he was like physically exhausted and couldn't walk.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild, man.
Shout out to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
He's not a master of self-control.
Definitely. Yeah, man. So next we got
What's up?
Selena Gomez.
Hey,
bro. Shout out to her.
Hey, Selena Gomez. It's a couple of songs on there that she got a song with Kid Cudi.
I did listen to that.
You sent it to me. I
I
didn't listen to
And
it
she
yet.
got a
Song with Black.
yeah, and the song with
Oh,
Black
wow.
that's really
Yeah.
good. Like,
Okay.
like that album isn't too bad, honestly.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I would definitely say give it a listen because it's not bad. Like,
I didn't want to. Okay,
She
I didn't want to
begging,
judge. Huh?
She begging for the.
Well, I mean, yeah, she was. I think that kind of ruined it for me too. You know, I'm not sure you guys seen the video, but yeah. So you know,
she went buying like
yeah,
little
she was
CDs
real
and-
panicked. She was real panic mode. You know what I mean? I don't think that's ever a good look. You know what I mean? And I think she was trying to be respectful, but at the same time, it's just like.
It's just weird because it's like even if you're gonna do that, you don't gotta like put it on. You don't gotta record it on Instagram and be like, "Oh, I'm on my way to Target and Walmart to buy my own
Bruh.
CDs because I wanted to go number one." It's like, why you ain't just keep that to yourself?
Right, exactly. You know,
Like you want us to feel bad for you, like.
right? You're already making millions of dollars. And,
I think she was trying to just like remind like millennials that you can still buy CDs. Real life. She's like Target and Walmart and where else?
Like,
Oh yeah, I'm going to all these places to buy my CDs because you can too.
Right.
Yeah.
So please.
It's not too bad though. Like I definitely would say like I would tell somebody to give it a listen.
What y'all think about Justin Bieber's new single, Yummy?
Yummy.
Because he was complaining too. Well,
Yeah.
not complaining, but it was like
Trying to get his
streaming,
streams up, yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate his new look more than his
Uh-huh.
new track on some real.
It's just very I don't know. I don't like when people get to a certain age and then it's like you've already put out a certain type of music to show people your age, but then it's like you still kind of run back and downplay.
Gotcha.
Cause to me it's a little like that song is a little like
Yeah.
juvenile,
Juvenile,
like
yeah.
and it's just like alright.
yeah.
Right.
I feel like, you know, even going back to Eminem, I think people have an issue with rebranding themselves or I think rebranding themselves. Like Kanye is very good with keeping up with, you know, the culture and the times and reinventing himself. You know, even Jay-Z is even another one.
It makes sense because now I think about Eminem. One thing he does is he said he treats his studio time like a 9 to 5. He goes in, then he goes home and doesn't leave the house.
Yeah,
really.
he treats it like a job. Like he's literally.
You know, I think Justin Bieber, what he's trying to tap into, is like you know, recently they're counting like TikTok as like streams.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen
And
that.
like the number one users of TikTok are what, kids.
Yeah.
So it's just like I want to make a song that they can make as many TikToks to, and they won't get in trouble by their parents.
Right.
And just like
But then
Make
to me that
dances.
goes back to just like the integrity of you being an artist. Is
Right.
it because my whole thing is it just about numbers, or are you just doing stuff for the numbers,
Some
or are you
artists is
doing
like that,
or
though.
are you doing stuff? But my whole thing is my issue is like it's one thing if you straight out the gate.
Right.
I get it because it's just like you trying to get to that, but I feel like once you've reached a certain level, like why?
see, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't like put that same judgment on a single though. Like if he did like a whole like juvenile album.
But I mean, think about
But
it.
the
What
single-
this single is supposed to represent your
The
album.
album.
So when you put this on the album, like, is it going to be all grown up shit, and then you gonna have Yummy
But
in the
see,
middle of it?
all right, but
Like,
see, for like, I think on like a record label side, like the single is going to represent the trajectory of the album. So it's just like some people have a terrible single, and then next thing you know, you're waiting for the album, and you're still waiting for it. It's just like, okay, like I'm gonna let y'all like cook with this, so it makes y'all trust me. and then from there, like I'm gonna do something.
But
different.
then too, I feel like it still
That's a good
goes
point.
into the subject matter because then it's just like if this single doesn't work, there's been a lot of times where like the single might not work, and then it's like the album didn't come out because they scrapped the whole album
Yeah.
because they like, oh, we need to take a new approach because
The single did so bad.
the
so,
single
like,
did so bad. So it's like obviously this is not what people want. I don't know. Me personally, I hate that. Like once you've established a tone to where it's just like, all right, I'm a grown man. And you've already put out music as such. It's like, why are we backtracking?
Not only a
Yeah,
grown
I
man,
feel
but a
you,
grown
bro.
married man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah,
Yummy,
that's
yummy.
true.
Girl, you got that yummy. Like, what?
Yeah, I honestly don't know where he was going with that one.
Like, would you say that to somebody?
No. Well, it depends on the.
Hey, yeah.
It depends on the time of night. So.
Would you say that to
No, I'm not saying.
Would you say that?
Like not somebody new, but somebody.
I actually
know,
believe
so,
that from
like-
Chad, though.
No, let me stop.
Hey,
You actually
no,
know
that's
that
that.
song.
That's the victory lap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when you throw that joint on.
Yeah.
While your girl sleep,
Right.
laid all sprawled out. Son. You got that?
Hey, it's catchy too.
Yeah,
It is
like,
It's
catchy.
catchy.
It's catchy. Got a nice little
Body's
beat.
face like no.
I can't trust you work for Shady Records. You got
Oh,
to.
yo.
You got to.
Shout out Paul Rosenberg and all them over there.
Oh,
Shady
Lord.
Every
Records.
example, he done
man.
brought it back to Eminem. I'm
Man.
like,
He does that a lot.
right, he was like, speaking of turning yourself to a different person.
Speaking of white people, Eminem dropped an album today.
I'm like, Lord.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up J. Cole yet.
Why would I bring up J. Cole?
Cause
He can't bring up J. Cole. He's now signed with Shady Records. That's a conflict of interest.
What's up with J. Cole, man?
Nah.
You see, look how quick he switched. J. Cole. Who's J. Cole?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So, yeah, I mean, J. Cole's tough. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. The 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to the 54th Super Bowl.
I expected the 49ers to go. They've been cooking all season. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch football like that. I just keep up with like the highlights and the stats.
And the Eagles.
Yeah, and the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan, so
Oh.
hey, we made it to the playoffs. Y'all didn't. Mine a Redskins fan. You won't see them in the playoffs for a long time.
Okay, first of all,
Jeez.
Jesus Christ, y'all just got a ring. And y'all just got this newfound confidence. Y'all have one ring, okay? Congratulations, you finally made it, okay?
Irrelevant now.
You're relevant now, okay? All right. See me next year.
But yeah, the Super Bowl. I'm thinking about doing a Super Bowl party.
Yo, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
shut.
'cause games. I'm not gonna be watching the Super Bowl. Probably just be playing games, drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, y'all invited. So
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
I just have one request.
what's that?
No Eminem.
we gotta start off with an Eminem track.
Yeah, just for today.
If I walk in and I hear Eminem playing, I'm turning around.
Oh my God.
Anybody who with me, I'll be like, this joint over.
Somebody put on Darkness.
The rest is all instrumentals from the 8 Mile. All battling. So.
He really should have did more movies. Maybe that's what it was. Like, he should have found another bag to invest
Yes.
in. You know what I mean?
Lin-Manuel Miranda, Broadway shows, baby.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah.
Because everybody was
GreyHaus
able
got
to.
the ideas, man.
Lincoln
Look
Bay.
at that.
Eminem. Shady Records. Tell you people at Shady Records.
Hey, I
come
mean,
Lincoln
y'all can't
Bay.
keep dissing Eminem. You know he's sensitive, okay? Have you guys seen the Bad Boys movie?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't. Have you saw it?
I did see. I saw it yesterday.
I've
It's
heard
good?
it. I've heard it was good.
Spoiler alert! It's like, nah, I'm not
No,
gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. But no, it was very good.
It's
It was
funny.
very
I was watching the first Bad Boys.
I was this
Saturday
morning.
night.
good. Really?
I was like real bored. Oh, Friday night.
Yeah, I watched it this morning.
You don't got like you was preparing yourself.
TBS. No,
What is TBS?
the channel.
Oh, I thought that was an acronym.
I was,
Somebody
told you.
watch
I'm like TBS to be. I'm like what?
They actually tell the truth. Like we really don't be watching TV like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like TV channels. Like
Yo,
what's that?
shout out the cable company. They still got me locked in though.
The
I don't
cable-
even watch it, but I still pay for it.
I don't watch it. I still pay for it
Oh,
too.
okay.
I just need internet.
I got cable,
Yeah.
son. Y'all done hoodwinked me.
Yeah, I got hoodwinked. I got Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and something else. I don't know.
See, you
Disney Plus.
You not,
Disney Plus.
you're
I
not
got
linking
Yeah.
and bagging correctly.
I know. I need to.
You supposed to just only have one.
I
Bundle
mean,
that thing.
well, actually, then again, I guess I only pay for one. And, it's like a family. of
It's like a
people.
community.
Exactly, it's a community. So I don't have to pay for the Disney Plus. Shout out to you know who you are.
shout out to Verizon.
Oh yeah, Verizon, you get it.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Put it in.
Comcast.
We got it sewed up at Verizon.
What does
So.
Comcast give you?
My
A
dad
high
worked for
bill.
Comcast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to Comcast.
Yeah, my father works for Comcast.
Oh, shout out to Comcast.
Yeah.
You don't get nothing free, but
Hey,
Right.
sponsor
There you
the
go.
pod.
Hey, I'm not gonna say nothing, but I got a discount.
Yeah, you did. That don't help the rest of us.
Got a big discount.
Lucky. So.
Right.
stingy.
The
And
rest
we're paying for it. So.
right. And
All
not
the
even
other-
using it.
Yeah, all the other Comcast payers are paying for your discount.
Right.
Out the
Thank
butt.
you.
That's why everybody got a sports package.
Yo,
when it has
facts.
sport.
Yeah.
And I've never been buying those packages and stuff like that. Like you said, you can miss me with all that. Give me the basic and very fast internet. Thank
I got
you.
HBO, so I'm a nerd. I admit it.
Mm.
Game of Thrones was
Game-
on.
bro.
I was making sure that bill was paid on time.
Yeah, I was Game of Thrones with it too, man. That jump.
Yeah.
I didn't like the last season though. They bombed that jump.
Man, I had a really terrible day at work last week, and then I was just like, you know what? I see why Daenerys did that. I get it. Like at some point, sometimes you just really got to burn it all down. It don't matter like what you get out of it. It's just like nah.
You looking forward to the prequel that they got coming out?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like I don't know, man. Like certain things, like I feel like they just belong in a certain space and just leave it alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like I heard it was trying to come out with a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot. I was just like,
Yeah.
Just leave it.
leave it alone.
Either that or like give Jaden creative control of it.
Ooh. If you're gonna do it right
Yeah.
and organic, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, seeing Jaden as that would be tough. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that would definitely be tough. He was in the Bad Boys soundtrack too.
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah, he has.
Oh yeah, they did drop a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
listened
good.
to
And
it.
Queen and
Yes.
Slim dropped the soundtrack.
I didn't hear the Queen and Slim. all
The
way.
Queen and Slim
Oh, you did.
soundtrack was pretty good. I didn't really care for the Bad Boys soundtrack.
Really? I think it has some jokes. I like the Meek Mill track, Uptown.
That
too.
Bad Boys,
Yeah.
the second Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, that joint is fire.
I don't
That joint came out, when did that movie come out?
like
2003?
Yeah.
2000 or something like that.
I don't know what song's on there. It was like Get Jiggy With It.
Yeah.
Right, I'm like, I don't even remember what was on
No,
there.
my dad had it, the mixtape in his car. I mean, not the mixtape, the soundtrack in his car. So we used to listen to that. That joint's
Oh,
fire.
really?
Yeah,
It had the actual Bad Boys.
Do you have the CD case to go with it, or was this like a
It
bunch
had
of
the
CD?
CD,
Oh,
the
okay.
CD case and everything.
But
Dang.
I remember that.
that's how you know you're a real one when you got the CD case.
Mm-hmm. You like got all this hot fire right here. What you guys need? What you need?
Man, I had the Wild Wild West soundtrack with
Oh,
the
bro.
matching sunglasses.
Hey,
Oh
yeah.
Lord!
Like I had both pairs of sunglasses. So I bought the album twice.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm dated. That that aged
talk
me
about bad
so much.
decisions.
Yeah, it was dumb. So I just remember as a kid, just like sitting in my dad's backseat wearing like the Will Smith circle joints, like Wild Wild West.
What's the worst album y'all bought?
Um,
Well,
Well,
I
why
know
would you
mine.
buy a bad album though? Like,
Because you thought it was going to be good. This is going back to the early 2000s.
I haven't bought it, but like somebody gave me a Christina Milian album,
Oh, man.
and it was the
Yeah, I
joint
know.
that had. It wasn't even like a young Christina Milian when it like the every little thing. It wasn't even that. It was like I think it was when she had like a song with Young Jeezy.
oh,
and it was like,
was it Say I?
yeah, it was like that music, and I just like. And it was one of my family members, and I literally just was like, so you just don't know me at all.
Bro.
Like,
Mine tops everybody's.
What's that?
I remember getting my mom got like a Gold's Gym membership, and it came with a Shania Twain single album for the song That Don't Impress Me Much. It was that same song with a remix and a Spanish version.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That was like, they cranked it.
That's pretty trash.
I got a Cole's CD before.
Oh,
Like
what Cole CD was it?
I didn't even mean J. Cole.
No, like Cole's the store.
that's what I said. Here we go.
Hey, J.
Somebody
Cole,
get
look at
Dreamville on
that,
the phone.
We get a J. Cole's.
Right,
J.
J.
Cole's
Cole's.
mixtape.
Get your own sponsorship at Cole's. But it was like the Cole's, like the little department store. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
wild.
was like, what the?
They was really trying to survive making those. Like, that makes them.
I was like, I
what?
feel like it was some stuff where it was just like, if you bought something, they was giving it to you. And I feel like I was just in the mall. I didn't even buy nothing. But, like, I used to always go through that entrance. And, like, the lady just was like, oh, you like music here? And I like,
I think the best thing that was like that was Pizza Hut giving away the PlayStation games back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I forgot about that. That was fire.
That was like the best like cross promotion ever.
Yeah, that's pretty fire actually.
What about you, bro?
yeah.
Can you remember an album? Yeah.
Probably the worst album that I received, physical copy. Someone gave me this Plies album. It was which Plies albums was it? The joint where he had the like the skull mask.
Oh, like the
Goon.
Goon. It was like Goon something.
Goon something. I think he had like Hypnotized on there.
But that was the joint that had like, wasn't that the one that had the please excuse my hands?
I think it was
just
that.
wanna...
I don't remember.
That joint. I mean, compared to other albums that I bought, that was the wackest one. Yeah, that was the wackest.
I have a second one. I had the first Ludacris album, but the edited version, and I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, that's some.
Which was the first? Not Chicken and Beer.
No.
No, it was
'cause that
Southern
one was pretty
Hospitality,
good.
wasn't
Yeah,
Oh
it?
yeah.
I had that joint, but it was edited, and I didn't know because I was young anyway.
Yeah.
So like my friend had the real one, and he was playing it. And, like we were like rapping to the songs, and like he had extra songs, and it was like parts where I thought it was like you're supposed to not say anything, but you were supposed to say it. So I'm just like with a and a when you go on like and that was embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, man. My first album I ever bought, I think it was Kanye West, Slave Registration, the edited version. So my mom was not having it, bro. Like I was trying to buy my first album, but you know I got it with the Jesus Walks. You know, I was like, hey, Jesus Walks.
Yeah, that's how a lot of us got it.
I was like, thank you, Kanye.
Right.
And then, but yeah, I used to think that the edited version was the actual version
Yeah,
of the
right.
song.
When you're young, you just feel like.
And then you
You
go
just
back and
go
listen to it
with
like, God, whoa, that's what you were saying? I don't remember that part. Yeah, man.
Oh, I got another one. Like I got a what is it? The little like what now music.
Oh,
Oh,
now that's
shit.
what I call
Yeah.
music.
Oh, shit.
Call you
That used to be the
25.
worst, bro.
I had one of those. I was like, oh Lord.
What is it like? Wow, like number 159.
Right.
Yes, bro.
Like,
Yo, remember my first job when we worked at Place to Play?
Yes.
They used to play them now, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, that was cringy,
Oh my
bro.
God.
We used to have to play that.
That and like
All
the Kids
day.
Bop versions of songs is so
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
what would you say? What was your first album that y'all got?
My first album that I ever got,
Mm-hmm.
Lil Bow Wow.
Okay.
Lil Bow Wow.
Lil Bow Wow.
His first album.
That you
still
bought
have it?
yourself or somebody bought you?
Well, nah, because I was still like young when that came out. My first album that I bought was Sierra's album.
Okay.
Her very first album, the
That's
joint
when
that
she had the shades on and
And she
I
had,
think she
like,
was
the
wearing
pink.
white.
No, she had like the pink to the side.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's
yeah,
the old song on
Yeah,
there?
the old
Yeah.
song was on there. Goodies was on
Goodies,
there. 1-2 Step.
That's funny. So yeah, Bow Wow was the first one that you got, then Sierra was the first one.
Well, I had
that
some in
you
between because then I had like Lil Romeo,
Okay.
B2K.
Okay.
Because, you know, they came in between Sierra. But, like, the first album I think I purchased, literally, like, was a Sierra album. And then, like, the other albums was, like, those were albums that somebody bought for me.
Yeah.
Mine was because I used to just like get out like a bunch of stuff burned, like CDs burned. But the one I really first purchased was the T.I. King album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then after I got the album, I like ran my dad's like cell phone bill up buying the ringtones.
Oh shoot!
Because I didn't realize I was buying them when I was like getting them to like listen to it. So I realized like went through the whole track list, downloading the ringtones for it, and then certain different parts too. My dad.
That was an actual business back then.
Yeah.
Y'all was like buying ringtones. Like,
Shout out to Soulja Boy.
Right.
Soulja Boy, T-Pain,
Yeah.
probably Lil Wayne too. Like they killed it with the ringtones.
Yeah.
Like, could you
T.I.
like to go
got
back
a
in time
bit
telling
of
your
change
younger
for me.
self like, everybody's just gonna have the same ringtone, in the future. Like,
Yeah.
That was T.I.'s best album too.
King.
Yeah, I think that was his best album.
Yeah, nothing beating that.
Yeah.
T.I. versus T.I.P. was pretty good.
That was alright.
That was okay. I still don't think it's.
No, there
like
was
King.
one. He had a Swagger Like Us on
Paper
it.
Trail.
That was
Paper Trail was pretty
I
good.
think that was
It
his last good album.
But it was
Yeah.
also very commercial too. It was very.
Yeah.
He had a lot of radio records.
I
in
feel
there.
like that King album is what made him T.I.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that and
everybody.
ATL.
Yeah.
That movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the
that's a
one
fact.
before
Trap.
King.
What was it? Trap? What was
Trap
it before
music.
King? Trap music,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Trap
Yeah.
music.
Oh, okay.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that one was.
That was raw T.I. T.I. was really like out here. Like he really did start like trap music. Like people don't want to give him the credit that he really deserves, but he was the one that really coined
We're
it.
not gonna leave out Uncle Gucci.
Yeah, you can't.
We not
Gucci
gonna
Mane?
leave out Uncle
Gucci
Gucci.
Mane?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean Gucci Mane was
So
there, but T.I. was first.
I feel like I
Nah.
think So Icy Mighty came first.
No, King album. I was in high school in like
So
That was
Icy.
young.
I feel like Gucci Mane was still out because So Icy wasn't Gucci Mane's first song. That was like
That was the one
his-
that got him popping.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first like major jump that got him popping. But no, but T.I. was early though. Like T.I. he was rapping with New York niggas. Like you
I
know what I
think
mean?
too what it is T.I. got commercial first before Gucci Mane. So it's like we knew, and then T.I. was like popping way, like he had a bigger following before Gucci Mane. So it's just like it's gonna be T.I.
I can't touch on that, but I could definitely see
I
that.
honestly don't really care, so they ain't cut me no check. But if you cut me a check, I'll give you my honest opinion.
We can go to top inspo. So at the end of our show, we like to get everybody's like inspiration, like what really inspired you guys.
Yeah,
to-
just for just recently, like the past week, what it could be something you saw or you heard, just whatever. So I'll go first.
You go ahead.
I watched a documentary today on Basquiat, and I never really knew about him. I just seen his artwork, but I came across it on YouTube, and I love documentaries. Documentaries is probably one of my most favorite thing to watch. But just watching him as a street artist really inspired me. So yeah, that'll be my top inspo.
Okay. What about you guys?
You go ahead.
I already know what yours is. I'm not gonna go there. I'll let her. But
I'm confused. Once you finish yours, start what you think mine is.
So I don't know. I try to find new inspiration just for different things like every single day. My inspiration like recently was just like rewatching The Matrix. And like the whole, like just the first one though, not the whole like saga, like trilogy, whatever they like. I don't know what they call it, but like the first one, and like the whole point, or like the whole message of it is just like, he was the one. Like everybody was like saying, "Oh, Neo, you're the one. Like you are like the person that's going to like bring the change to everything," but you can't be that person until you believe that you are that person.
Right.
So it's just like, from what I took from that is just like your future can be like laid in front of you, but you have to choose to accept it and accept that like you can be who you want to be, or like who you're destined to be. Because sometimes people don't do that and they'll never become what they're supposed to be at the end of the day. Like people can see potential in you, but you have to believe in that potential yourself, or it's not going to work. You can't force it.
That's fact.
So that's what I got this week.
That's good. That's good.
And what did you think mine was?
Something Beyonce related.
Nah, I mean, well, I feel like she is an inspiration just because it's like her work ethic is very unmatched. It's like Ivy Park is amazing. Just how she conducts business is great. But like, I want to say, lately, what's mine? Honestly, I'll say, somebody I follow on Instagram. She put up a post and it was saying how just like women just. But as of right now, just like women in creative spaces has been very just inspiring and like making me look at stuff different and take different approaches, especially because I just feel like, and I'm not, because I don't want to sound like the corny, like, oh, woman, because that's not really me, but it's just like, I think I pull a lot of inspiration from women due to the fact that I'm usually surrounded by a lot of males too, because of the industry that we're in. Is like a male dominated industry, so it's like that's really, as of lately, has been really inspiring just to see how other people go about things. And then also whenever, this is like a year round thing, but like every year at the beginning of the year, whenever I'm ready to do something, I normally watch like drug dealer movies, like Blow, like stuff like that, because that gets me so inspired. Because although it's like I'm not selling drugs, I feel like when you have your own business or your own brand as such, it's like you kind of gotta move like a drug dealer. Like you really have to build your business up, and it's just like,
and it becomes your life.
Your life. And just to see like with drug dealers or like movies like that where it's kingpins, it's like you have so many obstacles, and how they go about avoiding these obstacles, I feel like.
Not how they get hemmed up.
Yeah, it's like, it's really, it's one of those things where it's like, to me, it can really like get your mind, even though you're not selling drugs per se, it can still just really get your mind moving to where it's just like, okay, so like, because I feel like you kind of do got to move like that, because it's like, this is something that you are 100% doing. So it's like, you have to move as if this is something important. You got to move like, you're not trying to get hemmed up. You gotta make people respect you, and it's like so many things that ties into like that lifestyle and owning a brand. So like I always go back and watch like movies like Blow and like what is it, like Catch Me If You Can, Wolf on Wall Street, like stuff like that. Devil Wears Prada is also on that list, although it's not a drug dealer movie. It's very insightful. But yeah, like stuff like that, because it's just like, to me, whenever I watch it, I've seen all those movies a good amount of times, but whenever I watch it, it's like I take something different out of it based on where I'm at as far as like business wise. So I just think it's like, I would suggest people to, find your little guru.
That's good. Jay-Z does the same thing as well.
Yeah, I didn't even know that though.
Yeah, he does. He talked about many interviews. Like he watches movies just like Danae and just picks pieces, incorporate it into his business mindset. Wow. That's why he's so good at what he is. Yeah,
because like literally, I always say it, like drug dealers and stuff like that are like some of the best businessmen, businesswomen ever, and it's just like you want to move like them, right? Like because they move different, so it's just like. Just pulling bits and pieces. Yep. It's a gem. It's gems in.
Yeah, that's why I feel like so many of them can actually transcend into the music industry too, because they know how to, how to move into that kind of industry.
And you learn how to improvise.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And also, going back to what you were saying, women in general, women have been killing it.
They're winning right now.
Y'all have been killing.
Shout out to Auntie.
Auntie Michelle.
I get inspired more by women right now than ever.
It's the attitude that I don't know. It's like the black woman like motto that fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what trial or tribulation I have in front of me. It doesn't matter. Like they just do it. You know what I mean? Like I know so many women who, they could give up. You know what I mean? Oh, they just got pregnant, or they just lost this, or they just lost their job, but it doesn't matter. Like they just keep going, and it's just so inspiring to me. There's so many women in my life that I know, friends, family,
and just like Danae said, like being in industries where it's male dominated and just really putting their foot in and necks when they come into this industry. I think it's amazing.
Yeah,
I
'cause,
love
like,
seeing it.
And then it's just like, I always look at it too. It's just like, as a woman, I'm not going to try and say like women are more creative than men, but I just always find it inspiring too, because it's just like women have so much more, like it can be so much more difficult, not even because somebody's making it difficult, but just because like women go through so much different things that men don't go through. And then it's just like, even that, just like the creativity that comes from that, and it's just like it's very like, it's cool to see.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like play a part in that, it's still just cool to see, just like what some of these joints is out here doing.
Right, absolutely. You can still be inspired by it, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, they dropped some gems today.
Yeah.
I'm happy y'all came. This was great podcast.
yeah, this is an amazing episode. Thank you guys so much
No, thank you guys.
for coming through. Everybody, GreyHaus777.
Yes, tell them your where they can find you at. Just anything you want the audience to know before you go.
So y'all can, if anything, can be found on our website, GreyHaus777.com. And then you can also follow us on Instagram at
GreyHaus777.
you can follow our podcast on Twitter at
Doing Enough Pod.
And make sure y'all hit us up on YouTube and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, because we're also content creators and we got a lot coming. So
Yeah.
anything else you want to plug?
Check out our website. We have
Playlist.
different parts. We have playlists. We have the Grey List. If you want to get Grey listed, if
Hit
you
us
have
up.
like any kind of product, something tangible, sometimes services, depending on what they are, hit us up.
Let us know so you get gray listed. Just honestly, just keep your eyes open.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most tasteful podcast.
Hey.
Doing enough. / GreyHaus777.
We should have brought those from Jameson, man.
No, I was thinking about bringing some Jack. I was thinking about bringing some Jack. I'm on this health kick right now, so I'm not really doing alcohol.
Yeah,
right
me
now.
either. I've been doing alcohol, but
Yeah, I've been keeping it light and classy. Champagne,
I've
rose,
been
nay.
taking it day by day.
Whoa, you sound like you recovering, Chad.
Yeah, I just I went on a work retreat, so they had a open bar.
oh yeah, you gotta take
a
advantage of
Yeah,
that.
and I was just like, dang.
Oh yeah, that don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been rude of you not to
Right.
partake.
Yeah. It's like, how am I not gonna? Let me just.
Right.
Yeah.
That was part of your pay. That was your raise. That's why you need to partake.
Yeah.
That was the raise that you're not gonna
Hey,
get.
I was getting them hip though. I tried to get them to get our signature drink right, but
I
I didn't feel like teaching
75s.
the lady. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much.
Signature drink. What's that?
We have a signature drink.
Yeah.
So probably, we got a lot of stuff cooking, but it'll be y'all get hip to it very
Okay.
soon.
Y'all gonna know who the bar god is.
Yes, y'all gonna know.
Y'all gonna learn about the Grey 75.
Yes, the Grey 75,
You gonna
aka the Lincoln Bag.
Like that, man.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you guys are family, so if you guys ever, want to come back and want to plug anything, you guys are always welcome to. Just,
Yeah.
it's what
As
it
you are on ours.
Yes.
Appreciate that. All right, guys, that's going to do it for episode 17. Got anything else for them, Mr. Visionaire?
No, man, this is a great pod. Love y'all. See y'all next time.
All right, peace.